Hey crew, I've got the key to this 22 Nissan Armada Platinum 4x4. We are going to take it for a drive, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. The Armada was refreshed for the 21 model year, bringing changes like the new Nissan logo, the updated V-Motion grille with black insert and chrome borders, these full projector LED headlights on the Platinum trim with LED daytime running lights, LED fog lights down low on Platinum, this gray painted lower bumper molding. The color is called Coulis red. It's like a rich mahogany, pops more in the sunlight. In profile, we've got the V8 badge and these dark gray painted 22-inch wheels wrapped in Bridgestone Dueler all-terrain tires. They're chrome door mirrors, chrome window trim, chrome door handles, and gray painted roof rails on Platinum. Stepping back to look at the profile, the changes for 21 help it look less rounded and soft. It's a very burly looking SUV. I'm into it. At the back, we have some updated LED taillights for 21 and the chrome bar running across the tailgate, Armada spelled out, roof mounted spoiler, and probably the chunkiest bumper I've ever seen with a gray painted diffuser portion down low. I'd get it in the dark blue, but I'm into the styling of the Armada. Let's check out the interior. Opening up and looking inside. Black headliner on Espresso brown leather seats with quilted inserts. They're heated. To access the third row, you pull this tab once and the seats pop forward. There's an integrated running board to make it easier to get in, and it doesn't stick out too far like the Lexus LX. There's also a grab handle here, but watch out, taller folks, when you step up, this is what you're looking at. So you really have to duck your head to get in, and the high floor also means you kind of have to crunch your body to get back here. But at 6 feet tall, I do fit with about an inch of knee room. The floor being kind of high, my knees are pitched up. My head is on the roof, but I can angle back the seat with this and that. Slunching forward, my head finally clears. It's workable, but these 3 seats are really going to be for kids. You've got 2 cup holders back here. As standard, the second row is a bench seat for 8 passenger capacity, but you can choose captain's chairs for 7 passengers. There's lots of leather here in the door. This piece right here looks like a tucked in bed sheet though. The power one-touch windows are really fast. Unfortunately, that's about the only fast power option in the vehicle. There's a BOSE 13 speaker sound system as standard on this trim. Anthracite wood panels here. Hard touch plastics down low and some storage. Behind my own seating position at 6 feet tall, I've got ample knee room. Foot pockets are big enough to slide my feet under. Thigh support could be better. You can access the center console from the second row. That's neat. There's a third zone of climate control, your seat heat settings, and down here you can find an AC outlet, DC socket, and 2 USB ports, in addition to 1 USB port on the back of each of the 8-inch displays. 8 inches, hey, not so big in this day and age, as is the just sunroof or moonroof. There's not a panoramic glass roof option, even on this range-topping trim. You do get air vents up top and a nice rubberized grab handle. Nice thud to that door close, but listen to this. Sounds kind of tinny. Up front are heated and ventilated leather chairs with power adjustments, 2-way lumbar, that tread plate's an option, 2-position memory seats, power folding door mirrors, heated steering wheel controller, and your lift gate. Hit that button once and then exercise some patience because it's not fast. Good storage behind the third row, some additional below that floor mat, DC outlet. The big change for 22, power one-touch folding third row on the range-topping trim, not lesser trims. But whether you're holding the button or hitting it once, this is still an 18-second process, down or up, and that's entirely too long. Also, no power fold for the second row. You have to do that manually. My video is just not long enough for me to wait for those seats. Grab handle to get into the driver's seat. Thin leather-wrapped rim and large diameter to the wheel feels appropriate for a body-on-frame SUV. Just a colored TFT display though. No digital gauge cluster on the range-topping trim is a bummer. Also no head-up display. The big change for 21 was a move to this 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment with wireless CarPlay and auto. It's nice and responsive. The graphics look dated, and Apple CarPlay doesn't take over the whole screen. I like the physical volume knob and physical tuner. I don't love the gloss black, collects dust and smudges. Wireless charging pad in here, 2 USB ports, 1A, 1C, integrated trailer brake controller. A lot of that anthracite wood trim looking nice. 2 cup holders in there, your 2-speed transfer case settings, your mechanical gear selection, and you've got a physical dial for the infotainment if you don't want to touch the screen. Nice thick padding on the center console with good storage inside. And you have a digital rearview mirror to cut through a cluttered cabin. There's some good and some bad in this cabin. Feeling kind of old now though. And for $71,000, we're going to have to take it for a drive to see what it's made of. All right, let's fire it up. Quick little welcome graphic on the TFT display. While that V8 ignites, there are no drive modes to choose from on the Armada, so I guess we're always in normal mode. And it is a full-time 4-wheel drive system, so you can't switch to 2-wheel drive. We're just going into 4-wheel drive auto. Pull back on the gear selector. Oh my gosh, that is the loudest parking sensor I think I've heard on a vehicle. And that prompts a surround view camera system, which you get on the Platinum, and a wide-angle backup camera, though the resolution is not fantastic. We have trajectory, however. The digital rearview mirror is very high resolution, though, and it actually stands as quite the contrast looking at that and then looking at that. We got wheel views. And now it takes over this much of the screen, not the whole screen. How is the turning radius for this big burly number? Crank it. Oh, hey. That's not bad. I mean, and certainly for this segment, that's really good. Wow. Okay. It's a promising start. Horn test. Yeah, okay. It's good. I'd get out of the way of that. And then especially if I was looking at it, I'd be like, goodness, it's big. Powertrain. 5.6 liter V8. It makes, as of 21 and beyond, 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque, connected to a 7-speed automatic gearbox, and in this configuration, as I've said, a permanent 4-wheel drive system. And because there are no drive modes to choose from, you can't choose like an eco mode or anything like that to kill the throttle. However, the way they've set up the responsiveness of the throttle is just about ideal. It's super easy to modulate, whereby you can just lightly breeze into it and you get a modicum of performance, or you can absolutely pin it and not only will you get a pretty great soundtrack, but this truck gets up and moving. The 7-speed automatic is not quick to downshift to get you that performance. It takes a sec to click down a couple gears. But this is no slouch, especially as we'll see when we do a dig from zero. Visibility is quite good. The D-pillar isn't as massive as some of its competitors, and we do have the Nissan Safety Shield 360 as standard, which includes the blind spot monitoring system and rear cross traffic alerts. And on the Platinum trim, we have additional safety goodies which we will sample when we're on the highway. The vantage point is also excellent as a driver. In fact, I can't get the seat to go any lower than I'm currently sitting, so maybe it's made for small people, but those small people will have a good visibility point. Seeing out over the hood is easy. We do have a light, so we will have an opportunity to do a dig to 60. Here we go. There it is. That roar, though. What a noise. Now, Car and Driver got a 0 to 60 test of the Armada 4x4 in just 6 seconds flat. That's the quickest of its segment, and that's just outright quick among vehicles on the road. 400 horsepower is not that much to move this heavy of a vehicle, yet they've tuned it to be super robust. I like this engine. I like it a lot. Now, if I'm doing that all the time, bursting forward, I'm not going to see great fuel economy. I mean, even driving it gingerly, I'm not going to see great fuel economy. It's 13 city, 18 highway, and 15 combined. I just have to do it again, though. Because I like that noise. And that was on an uphill, and it was still quick to 60. When you do back off, when you are just coasting down the road, this is a rather quiet cabin. This is certainly not an aerodynamic vehicle, but you could convince me otherwise because it's a supremely well insulated cabin. The seats are comfortable. What a great road trip product. I can only imagine you would stay fresh along a long distance travel, get to your destination, and not feel like you needed a day to recover. And along with that comfort of the quietness of the cabin and the seats, the ride quality is also good for a body-on-frame SUV. It doesn't transfer a lot of the road blemishes into the cabin. This is a good test of from 60, a stomp on the brakes. Lot of nosedive, but the braking performance was solid there. As long as you're anticipating this happening, you should have confidence that the Armada will stop in emergency situations. But I know what you really want to know is, how does the Armada handle? So off goes traction control. And we're going to chuck it into this corner here. That was not awful. Now, I did that before with traction on, and of course it immediately cut the power. But with it off, one, there wasn't quite as much roll as I anticipated. I was expecting complete wallowing in the corner. And yeah, it rolled, but not in any sort of uncomfortable way. And the turn in, all right, that I wasn't really impressed with. The steering is lazy. You set it up and it just takes so long to actually dive in. And there's nothing back from the wheel. But hey, considering the segment, I'm gonna take away that in an emergency situation, the Armada is gonna be just fine. It's not gonna be a canyon carver, but it's gonna be just fine. And now that we're cruising on the highway, this is actually a decent opportunity to try out the manual mode. Yes, we don't have sport, we don't have eco, but we do have manual. And hey, those downshifts don't even take that long. And throttle response is way better if you're in the right gear. Wow. Yeah, from 4,000. Powerhouse of a motor. Stopping that though. Cruising at freeway speeds. The wind noise is up, as you can expect, but it remains a quiet riding vehicle and comfortable. This is good. We do have adaptive cruise control. I can turn that on. There we go. Adaptive cruise. And it has a lane departure warning system, not a lane keep assist system. So if I deviate here, it vibrates strongly through the steering wheel, way stronger than the Ford Maverick I was just in, and it flashes a bit of a warning on the steering rack. I prefer that to just all the beeps, like, hey, you've left your lane. Beep, beep, beep. Just vibrate. Actually, that's such a loud vibration, you would hear that too. Would be nice to have a lane center assist system on a road trip. Just take some of the fatigue out of driving long distances. I won't have a night drive for this one, so I really should do a sound system test. BOSE, hit me with your best shot. About half volume. Not too bad. Okay, so the bass hit for sure, and the volume stayed strong, both at freeway speeds and kind of just sitting still here. It's a good sound system, worthy of the upgrade in the Platinum trim, just to satisfy curiosity as well. Wiper test. Oh, we left a strand of... Okay, you're going to finish it up. There's still water there. Not complete. I'm upset with that. Okay, how does the Armada stack up against other 3-row, body-on-frame, rugged, 4x4, full-size SUVs? There are a few of them. The starting figure for this truck is $50,000. The one as tested, Platinum 4x4, top of the range, $71,000. You could also look at the Chevy Tahoe. High Country would be kind of comparable to Platinum, 4x4, and that one's going to be $74,000, a bit more money. It makes 420 horsepower, a little more power. The fuel economy is about the same at 15 combined. 0 to 60 is about the same at 6.1 seconds. Towing for that one is 7,800 pounds. I didn't mention the 4x4 Armada's towing capacity is a stout 8,500 pounds. You could also look at the Ford Expedition Platinum, and that one, or is it limited? They do limited? Limited or Platinum, can't remember. That one is a more expensive $79,000. It makes the same 400 horsepower. Fuel economy is excellent for that one though, at 19 combined mpg. The towing capacity is also, it's class leading at 9,800 pounds. And then we haven't been able to experience it more than just visually, but the 23 Toyota Sequoia replaces the very outdated older generation Sequoia. That one, we don't know the price on it. We can expect that the power is going to be the same, using the same engine out of the Tundra 4x4, so 430 horsepower with its hybrid powertrain. So fuel economy should also be the same as that Tundra, so 21 combined. Towing capacity, who knows? Is the Armada the best in its segment? No, it's not. There are more fuel efficient models, there are more powerful models, there are higher towing capacity models. I think that the interior is not as cutting edge as it should be for a 22 model year vehicle. Stylistically, I don't mind it at all. I think that probably the Tahoe is the best looking one to me, and I think that the Expedition probably has the nicest cabin. But here's where I think the Armada still has value. With the price tag for this range-topping model, I think if you can get a good deal on an Armada at the dealer level, and if you can overlook not having a digital gauge cluster, not having a panoramic glass roof, and not having really fast-moving, power-folding third row and power-folding at all second row, there's still merits here. This is a well-riding, well-insulated, powerful, good towing capacity SUV, and it's just earnest in the way it drives. I hope you guys have enjoyed this POV drive review. If you did, please like, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to get notified. There it is. And I'll see you again next time.